I don't think of myself as fluffy. I'm full figured, I'm plus size, I'm fat.
I like the fluffy movement though.
I'm not saying to you should be eating and not being healthy and not exercising.
There are certain health conditions that cause you to be fat.
Sometimes I find that the full figured woman wants to fit so much into the average sized woman type of look.
So we just saw that campaign, Plus is Equal by Lane Bryant. What do you think about the message itself? Plus is equal.
Well, for me, I was actually very happy when I saw it. I never actually thought about it like that, plus is equal. What I always thought about is that in everything else in life, plus is more, plus is a positive. So why it is that when we're talking about our bodies and being plus size women, we always think that it is less. So when I saw plus is equal, I was like, hey, that's a different take on it.
I never saw plus as a negative at all because it's the opposite of negative. In terms of plus is equal, I think it's great that they've decided to highlight that, but I think it's really sad that they have to highlight that as well. We've seen all shapes and sizes become the trend and not the trend, and we've evolved and we realize that there is something to celebrate in our diversity of shape, size, whatever you look like, short, tall, whatever. And you know, now it's like, okay, so we've actually come all this way to then actually have to say, hey, there's this whole set of people that are equal.
How did you guys become so comfortable and confident with yourselves?
Well, for me, it was never becoming. It was always like that. I was sharing with you before the show that I didn't know that I was fat until I went to high school, because everybody in my household looks exactly like me. So if you didn't look like me, I actually thought that you were the different one. But you know, when you go to high school, you're socialized with a whole set of different people. So that came out in high school, but I never ever thought that I was less than anybody else. Sometimes my father would say to me, he doesn't understand where I come from, because I was always thinking that, oh, I'm so beautiful, because I am. And my best friend is 100 pounds, probably 105. So it's not like I'm bashing people who don't look like me. I just appreciate everybody for who they are, and I've always loved myself. I think that I'm absolutely beautiful. I love fashion.
Yay.
So I'm all about wearing what fits you. So it's not just as a full figured woman wearing a certain type of clothes and skinny people wearing a certain type of clothes. No, it's what fits your body. That's what I'm about. So it was never a becoming. It was always like that.
It was always like that for you, Gianna?
Yeah, I've always been me. And I'm not someone that focuses on the appearance, which is very interesting because I'm a model and all these things. So people think that, oh, you pay that much attention to the outward appearance, but I really don't. The people that hire me do, and I'm grateful for that. But for me, I've never focused on that. So I'm confident in who I am, my values, and all these things. My brain, I love my brain.
We don't see that.
The confidence thing was never about, you know, my size. Of course, I would like to lose weight a lot of times because of how I feel, because I grew up slim. So I was actually skinny as a child. So as I've grown up and gained weight, I can actually feel where I have the weight, and it's uncomfortable in certain positions when I sit and lay down, and you know, there's certain things I can do. My derriere is like an anchor, like it does actually pull me down. Like, so those things like are why I will concentrate on on losing weight. But no, it's never a confidence thing. It is what it is, and it's me either way. So no.
I want to hear the stories that you might have heard about other women, full-figured women, who are struggling to accept who they are, and maybe challenges that they would have faced from interaction with peers or family or social settings.
Sometimes I wonder what is the difference between how certain people grow up, because for my swimsuit line, when a full-figured woman calls me or she sends me an email that she wants a suit, and she starts to say things like, I have not been to the beach for 7 years because I just don't want to show my body. I don't like my body. My breast is so big, my belly is so big, and they go on and on and on. And some people get really emotional about it. And one of my first questions is, did somebody tell you that it's too big? Yes, because everybody's supposed to be skinny, no, everybody wants a flat belly. It is the way that we have been growing up our girls, which is, I mean, something that I'm always saying, that I hope that when I start to bear children, I want a girl, because my child would never be grown like that. You're not supposed to be defined by what you look like. That's something that was brought upon us. I'm not about that.
Easier said than done.
True, but I've lived it. I've lived it. Almost all my friends are average size or skinny. I haven't felt different because I'm able to do everything that they do. I dance like they do. I eat like they do. I sleep like they do. I think like they do. It's not different for me. Gianna mentioned that her derriere pulls her down. When I'm at the gym and I'm running and I'm like, I'm sure everybody else is not feeling this weight that I'm feeling on my bottom. But I don't make it bother me because it has always been there. You know what I'm saying? So it really, one of the reasons I've said to myself that I'm going to continue on this journey of empowering full-figured women is because when I get those calls and when they actually fit into the swimsuit and they see how beautiful they are, I'm like, it's probably the clothes that you're wearing. It's probably something that somebody told you. You are absolutely beautiful. And they feel like that after.
Sometimes you just need to take the time to shine the light on themselves and to try and see that I am actually gorgeous.
Absolutely.
I think the problem that they might have had over the years, and this is why it's been culminated into this whole mindset, is the fact that, and the fashion industry is to blame. I'm not going to even beat around that bush. You have designers who decided that they were only going to do certain sizes, and what ended up happening to the full-figured and the plus-size women is that they try to squeeze themselves into things that don't fit.
True.
No matter what size you are, if you're wearing something that does not fit you, it's not going to look good. You will be ashamed of what you look like, and it will affect how you see yourself and how you feel. If you know that you look like $1 million, it radiates in everything that you do. You will act like $1 million. I promise you. So that has to do with how they feel about themselves, because they were wearing things that weren't fitting, which is why I'm happy when I see someone like Dania or any of these, Lane Bryant, any of these that are saying, hey, yeah, you need to get dressed too. You can't walk naked. So let's put you in something stylish, fashionable, make you feel good about yourself, because plus is equal, like you're saying.
The term that Jamaicans have grown accustomed to describe full-figured women is fluffy. And, you know, that originated with Miss Kitty, TV personality, and I think it was a means of empowering ladies to feel good about themselves. What is your take on being referred to as fluffy?
Well, I mean, I always give Kitty her props because she really empowered a lot of women, especially in the dancehall sphere, when she coined the word fluffy. Personally, I don't think of myself as fluffy. I'm full-figured, I'm plus size, I'm fat. You know, I'm not offended by those words. When I walk on the street, though, a lot of men will say fluffy. I mean, I don't not answer. I'm like, yeah, hi, how are you? But personally, I don't refer to myself as fluffy.
Are you fluffy, Gianna?
No. A pillow's fluffy, a blanket's fluffy. I like the fluffy movement, though. I'm not gonna say that, you know, you shouldn't call yourself fluffy if that's how you identify. I remember auditioning once for some show, and I mean, they said something about fluffy, and I was like, no, I'm just the girl with the fuller figure. And they all laughed because they all worked with Miss Kitty as well, so they were very, you know, they knew that I was playing on it. I think it's great. I think anything that makes you feel good, whatever size you are, is, you know, what you should do. And for me, it's always like fab at any size, but my figure is always fuller because my butt doesn't really go anywhere. So even when I go down to a size 8, there's a lot going on around it. I'm still a full figure. Like, it's just, so for me, it's like, you know, I mean, for me, I can't classify myself as fluffy because of that.
Right. What about the health factors associated with being full-figured women? Because we see a lot of campaigns about losing weight and being mindful of your body mass and your body fat, and there's this other movement promoting love yourself, full-figured women. What about the checks and balance in terms of the health associated with it?
Well, anybody who knows me or visits any one of my social media pages will know that one of my favorite places is a gym. I love going to the gym. I'm all about the healthy lifestyle, but the fact is, not everybody was born with the same body type. And even when I lose weight, as Gianna mentioned before, there's a lot happening with my derriere, there's a lot happening with my breasts, so I'm always gonna be fuller figured. So I'm saying to persons that I'm not saying to you should be eating and not being healthy and not exercising. Of course, do all of that, but appreciate yourself for who you are and the figure that you have.
The thing about the health thing is a very interesting thing to me, because there are certain health conditions that cause you to be fat. So it's like when they say, oh, you know, you need to lose weight for your health, and it's like, okay, but I have an underactive thyroid, so
It's causing me to gain weight.
yeah, like, okay, and I didn't know that at first. And you know, there are people with polycystic ovaries, so then they end up with a lot more fat around their middle and that sort of a thing. And it's just like, okay, so at what point do you open your mind and you say, hey, maybe this person is not just fat, maybe it is not a lifestyle issue, maybe it is a health issue that's causing it.
You are now specializing in making women feel much more beautiful
Yes.
about themselves with your broad tail design.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well, broad tail, we don't even call it swimwear, we call it fit kinis, because they're made to fit you.
Broad tail, how that name comes?
Broad tail, well, me, my derriere, you know, as I wanted to be all about what I think and to show how I feel passionate about a full-figured woman. So I figured more or less that broad tail would be a very good name. You know, in Jamaica, as a full-figured woman, sometimes you walk on the road and the men will be like, she broady, and I was like, okay, yeah. And one of my favorite birds is the peacock. So there you go, broad tail, I put it together.
These are custom made for full-figured women.
Yes, I don't discriminate against average size women, medium size, no woman at all, but it's because of what I was going through in terms of when I went into a store, I couldn't find a swimsuit to fit me because my bottom is big, my breasts are not that big. I'm a variant. I'm not a small, medium, or large. I really don't fit anywhere. So I started to make my own swimsuits. The first one I had was from my mother from in the 70s, and I thought it was so sexy. I called it the vintage Jaguar, and I started to make my own thing, put them on social media, and everybody was like, where can I get that? I'm like, they're mine, until people started to order them, and broad tail began. I'm all about empowering full-figured women. I want them to feel as sexy as I feel when I walk out on the road, and so that's my journey right now.
Lingerie line next, please.
Oh wow, lingerie.
Yeah, how about that? Jenna, do you have a problem shopping here in Jamaica as it relates to finding clothing for the full figure?
Okay, so that's not fair because I'm a model, so like people always send me stuff and dress me and stuff like that. So I don't have the problem that I'm sure a lot of people do have though. But I think it's, again, when people are not shopping in the right places because they don't know. Like I have a great person, like Carrie K's, they do my wardrobe for my show and like when I need to do anything. And they have a wide array of full figure fashion, plus size fashion, but people wouldn't know that all the time, you know what I mean? So because they don't know, they'll go somewhere else that doesn't stock everything right.
And not only that, because I've had some issues, but not completely, because sometimes I find that the full-figured woman wants to fit so much into the average-sized woman type of look that she's going to the same places. Because Gianna mentioned Carrie K's, I know there. I also shop at Curvity, I shop at Rosie's Couture, and they always bring in things for plus-size women. So it's where you go. You are not the same as the other woman in terms of body. So find the places that cater to you because they are there.
So stores are now catering more, you would say, to full-figured women.
Yes, it's not only a one ugly rack.
Nice.
For some stores, it's the entire store, yeah.
But I think also the full-figured woman has to accept that she is full-figured, because I think a lot of the times they might go into even a Carrie K's that does normal sizes, outside of plus sizes, we won't call them negative sizes. But they will make a beeline to where the smaller sizes are, because that's how they either they want to see themselves or they see themselves. Like they're not making the connection in their mind that, hey, I am full figured. Let me embrace that. Let me find something that really fits me.
They're not.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because sometimes, you know, they think they only need to change it because somebody said they need to change it. But inside they really know that this is me. Keep it. Empower yourself. You're absolutely beautiful, and get a broad tail swimsuit because you look and feel even better.
You're bigger, and big is really good. Big means that you can carry a very big personality and embrace what is within and let it shine throughout.